drop in the bag in 3, 2, 1, drop. And cut. Wow. Welcome to the Messiah behind the scenes video. It's been like a month now since the film came out, and we really wanted to make a behind the scenes video because of how much fun it was to make and how many people were involved. So in this little video, we're going to jump into so many bits, the heart behind the film, how it managed to be pulled off, and all the people who made it possible to happen. So enjoy.
So we decided to do a film because we would originally want to do an in-person production, but there were COVID restrictions and unfortunately we couldn't do that.
So there were tons of challenges in trying to bring this thing to life. So we're wandering the streets of Enfield looking for locations to film. We're trying to make Enfield look like 2,000 years ago in Middle East.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's quite hard. Trying to make a film about ancient Middle Eastern stories in modern day North London,
busy city,
was really hard to try and do because everywhere you point a camera there is some kind of, you know, modern thing that doesn't belong in a Bible story, like, and you know, as a giveaway like that. The heck is that creature? Do we get skunks here?
I don't know. Was it a possum?
Oh no, it's coming towards us. That's a beaver.
No.
It is. No, not a beaver, a badger. That is a badger.
Another one of the challenges, also due to COVID, was costumes. We basically had to find all of our costumes from previous materials that New River had used in past productions, as well as just blindly order some costumes online because none of the shops were open. We couldn't go in anywhere to, you know, find material to make our own costumes.
This is behind the scenes. Jesus' first outfit fitting. Yes. This is a holy outfit. But we're about to make it a little less holy by shortening the length. This is feel. It feels better with that length, I think.
Do you want him to roll the sleeves?
Yeah, can we try a bit of sleeve action, please?
Yeah. So explain to me what you're doing exactly. So you put some cream.
Sun cream.
So this is what they call concealer.
Okay, concealer.
It's an eraser. That's exactly what it says, actually. So luckily, everything worked. And it was actually really fun to take kind of old materials that had been used as well as new materials that we, you know, ordered and combine them, and, you know, seeing them on screen and seeing them in these locations on these actors. It was like, oh my gosh, this is actually working. And it was really cool to overcome that challenge, even though, yeah, it was tricky in the beginning.
Today we're shooting with Ray, aka Mary Magdalene, and this is the outdoor closet where we're hanging today's outfits.
Yeah, and then I thought as well,
these are Tom shorts.
Wearing my Stan Smith outfit today.
Another thing that we had to try and overcome with it all was trying to make the production look bigger than it actually was. There were so many times in the filming of this where we had to use stunt doubles, not for any stunts, but we had to use different people to pretend to be other people in the film. For instance, in the film, I played the feet of Judas at one point. I know there's a river around here somewhere. Oh! Paige played the shoulder of a disciple at one point. I played the hand of a blind man at one point.
I also ran as a disciple in the forest.
The way you're holding your head is hilarious as well. Jesus had a stunt double. Tom actually played the part of Jesus in the moments where you don't see his face, with the scenes with Mary Magdalene. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, the actors, actually never met each other. They probably still have never met each other. But we were able, through some trickery, to make it look like they did.
Stop! Come around, Tom.
So we used more camera tricks, some perspective stuff to actually make this thing, which is just 2 bits of wood nailed together with some cardboard. This was our cross that was featured in all the scenes where you see a cross. The only other bit we used was like a big piece of wood from our church that is used as a cross. We just held it near Coz's head sometimes to make it look like he was there, or he laid on it at one point, but we promised we didn't nail anybody to any crosses.
No.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I have no idea how to like describe it. Like action.
It is finished.
That was good though. Like it's still coming across well. Another big challenge we had with this was trying to find a name for the production, and you might not think this is a big challenge, but between me, Paige, and Rob, the writer, man, we struggled big time.
It was a battle
to find a name that all three of us liked, and just a name that felt like it fit the whole production. 25 to 12, just over a week to go until we finish the project, and we're still trying to decide a name. It is not going well. Everything else is going well, but the name is not going well. Maybe I'll put some of the other names on the screen of what we were debating it to be, but we kept setting ourselves deadlines and then breaking those deadlines of when we should have the name by. Still no name. It's a new day, still no name. And we only really decided on the name once we got to the absolute latest point in which we could start advertising the film, and we knew we needed to have a name for it.
So another challenge that we happened upon was we actually produced the music and performed the music the same time that we were making all of the visuals. We found it, somewhat challenging to run, the visuals alongside the music and then, having to mesh those together along the way. But with little tweaks here and there and finally being able to put visuals with music, it was like when moments would happen where we were like, yes, like this is what we imagined hearing. It was really great to see all of that come together.
So this is kind of a typical day in producing this thing. Paige and Catherine creating the Last Supper scene here, all the while at the same time in another room we've got Tom recording some bass parts and Pete putting all the music together. And we really wanted the music to be just as important to this film as the acting and as the narration parts and all that kind of stuff. Like, that's kind of a nod back to the 2018 production that we did, that the music was meant to be as impacting and as powerful as the other bits. So having a team of people like work on the music all the way through, as well as the film inside going simultaneously, was really important for that.
Come with me, he said to the others. There is little time. There we go. Okay. You can just cut whatever. And...
That was amazing. Okay, to wrap up this video, we put out a little thing on Instagram asking if anyone had any questions about Messiah and how it was made. The first question we got sent through was that real mud on the blind man's eyes?
Was it? No, it wasn't. We didn't want to risk real mud getting into Paul's eyes. And so instead, I used cocoa powder and water and basically tried to get it as mud-like as possible. And we actually tested it out on Josh's eyes first. And it looked real. So we were like, okay, let's do this. And it went on and came off easily, and there was no harm done to Paul's eyes, which was
we think.
Great. Yeah, we didn't hear.
There might be long-term harm, but there was no short-term harm.
No, not at all.
Do you know, I'm lacking in eyebrows.
All right. Who were the 12 actors as disciples next to Jesus at the Last Supper?
Okay, this question makes me happy because it means that the camera trickery that we used worked. Because at the Last Supper, there was actually only 2 disciples present, and
my shoulder.
Yeah, well, we used Paige's shoulder and a bunch of other kind of tricks to try and make it look like there was more people. But the 2 people who were there were Pete Bernardo, who engineered and produced all the music, and Nick Kelman, who played Doubting Thomas. Mm-hmm. Were any of the cast professional actors, and who did the main singing?
I'm glad this question was asked because it means all the actors did a really good job. There's only one of our actors that is a professional actor, and it is the girl who plays Mary Magdalene. Her name's Ray Mortimer, and she is a professional actor. That's what she does.
You're confused. The stone's been moved. Look up, maybe. Maybe have a look around you, behind you.
And the main singing, you hear Tom Wing's voice a lot throughout, but we also had Catherine Kelman. She did a lot of the singing. I did some of the singing. A couple of our other singers who are worship leaders in our church were Sophia Routledge, Solace Sowa, Christina Shaw, Aggie Sophocles. Am I missing anyone out?
Me.
No. Where did you film it? And just to say, when Mary runs into the arms of Jesus, goosebumps. Yes.
So, as mentioned earlier, lockdown meant we could only really film pretty locally to where we were. So, we did a lot of filming in like just a field that's kind of near our house that we just sort of found. We filmed in the forest a few times. We filmed in Waltham Abbey because there's kind of some old buildings around there that kind of looked a bit good. We filmed in Enfield Town, like mainly parks really. We did do one little trip into central London to kind of film a few buildings and cobblestone streets and stuff like that. Let me have a quick go at these cobblestone. Oh, I don't want these flipping pigeons in it. Thanks, babe. Is it true Cos has been approached to be the next Bond?
Cos, is it true? Is it true? We don't know. I don't know. He could probably play the next Bond if he wanted to, but we might have to put that question on ice because maybe.
Well, if he does, we'll have to cover his, they'll have to cover his tattoos the same way that we did.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because Bond doesn't have tattoos.
Definitely. Because did an amazing job, so yeah. What's next?
There is definitely no Messiah Part 2. Because I've had small heart palpitations even looking through this footage again for this behind the scenes video, realising how stressful it was and how crazy it was. Even though it was tons of fun, it was a big effort. But I don't know, a lot of us have toyed around, like us and Rob, we've toyed around with this idea of maybe one day doing a Christmas version, similar kind of structure.
Now it's out there, they're going to hold you to it.
Maybe. But right now, I'm just happy to have had it go out there and it done its job and affect people in a good way. And yeah, this BTS video is also next. And we're going to keep making videos on this YouTube channel, our joint channel. We're going to keep making videos on the Come Home channel. And yeah, we're just going to keep living life, trying to survive the COVID nightmare. And yeah, live victoriously on the earth. That's what's next. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed Messiah. Hope you've enjoyed this little look into the behind the scenes of it. I'm sure this video hasn't been short, so if you've made it here, well done. And we will see you soon in something. Bye.
Bye.